Chapters 9 through 12 of the Gospel according to Luke, from the American Bible Union's New Testament. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Mark Penfold. Chapters 9 through 12 of the Gospel according to Luke. Chapter 9. And having called the 12 together, he gave them power and authority over all the demons, and to cure diseases. And he sent them to preach the kingdom of God, and to heal the sick. And he said to them, Take nothing for the journey, neither staff, nor bag, nor bread, nor money, nor have 2 coats apiece. And into whatever house ye enter, there abide, and thence depart. And whoever will not receive you, when ye go out from that city, shake off even the dust from your feet for a testimony against them. And going forth, they went through the villages, publishing the good news, and healing everywhere. And Herod the Tetrarch heard of all the things that were done, and he was perplexed, because it was said by some, John has risen from the dead, and by some, Elijah has appeared, and by others, one of the old prophets has risen again. And Herod said, John I beheaded, but who is this of whom I hear such things? And he desired to see him. And the apostles, returning, related to him all that they did. And taking them with him, he retired privately to a city called Bethsaida. And the multitudes, when they knew it, followed him. And receiving them, he spoke to them concerning the kingdom of God, and healed those who had need of healing. And the day began to decline. And the 12 came and said to him, Dismiss the multitude, that they may go into the villages around, and the fields, and lodge, and find food. For here we are in a desert place. And he said to them, Do ye give them to eat. And they said, We have not more than 5 loaves and 2 fishes, except we should go and buy food for all this people. For they were about 5,000 men. And he said to his disciples, Make them lie down in companies of 50. And they did so, and made them all lie down. And taking the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes, he looked up to heaven, and blessed them, and broke, and gave to the disciples to set before the multitude. And they ate, and all were filled. And there were taken up of fragments that remained to them 12 baskets. And it came to pass, as he was alone praying, that his disciples were with him, and he asked them, saying, Who do the multitude say that I am? They answering said, John the Immerser, and others Elijah, and others that one of the old prophets has risen again. And he said to them, But who do ye say that I am? Peter answering said, The Christ of God. And strictly charging them, he commanded them to say this to no one, saying, The Son of Man must suffer many things, and be rejected on the part of the elders and chief priests and scribes, and be killed, and rise on the 3rd day. And he said to all, If anyone will come after me, let him deny himself, and take up his cross daily, and follow me. For whoever will save his life shall lose it, and whoever may lose his life for my sake, the same shall save it. For what is a man profited, when he has gained the whole world, and lost or forfeited himself? For whoever is ashamed of me and of my words, of him will the Son of Man be ashamed, when he shall come in his glory, and in that of the Father and of the holy angels. And I say to you of a truth, there are some of those standing here who shall not taste of death, till they see the kingdom of God. And it came to pass, about 8 days after these sayings, that he took with him Peter and James and John, and went up into the mountain to pray. And it came to pass, while he was praying, that the appearance of his countenance became changed, and his raiment white and glistening. And behold, 2 men were talking with him, who were Moses and Elijah, who appeared in glory, and spoke of his departure, which he was about to fulfill in Jerusalem. But Peter and they who were with him were heavy with sleep, and awaking, they saw his glory, and the 2 men that stood with him. And it came to pass, that, as they were departing from him, Peter said to Jesus, Master, "It is good for us to be here. And let us make 3 tents, one for thee, and one for Moses, and one for Elijah," not knowing what he said. While he said this, there came a cloud and overshadowed them, and they feared as they entered into the cloud. And there came a voice out of the cloud, saying, "This is my chosen Son. Hear ye him." And when the voice had come, Jesus was found alone. And they kept silent, and told no one in those days any of the things which they had seen. And it came to pass on the next day, when they had come down from the mountain, that a great multitude met him. And behold, a man from the multitude cried, saying, "Teacher, I beseech thee, look upon my son, for he is my only child. And behold, a spirit takes him, and he suddenly cries out, and it tears him with foaming, and hardly departs from him, bruising him. And I entreated thy disciples to cast him out, and they could not." And Jesus answering said, "O faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I be with you, and bear with you? Bring hither thy son." And while he was yet coming, the demon threw him down, and tore him. And Jesus rebuked the unclean spirit, and healed the child, and gave him back to his father. And all were amazed at the mighty power of God. But while all were wondering at all things which Jesus did, he said to his disciples, "Do ye let these words sink into your ears, for the Son of Man will be delivered into the hands of men." But they understood not this saying, and it was hidden from them, that they perceived it not. And they feared to ask him concerning that saying. And there arose in them the thought, which of them was greatest. And Jesus, perceiving the thought of their heart, took a child and placed it by him, and said to them, "Whoever shall receive this child in my name receives me. And whoever shall receive me receives him who sent me. For he that is least among you all, the same is great." And John answering said, "Master, we saw one casting out demons in thy name, and we forbade him, because he follows not with us." And Jesus said to him, "Forbid him not, for he that is not against us is for us." And it came to pass, when the days were being completed, that he should be received up, he steadfastly set his face to go to Jerusalem. And he sent messengers before his face, and they went and entered into a village of the Samaritans, to make ready for him. And they did not receive him, because his face was directed toward Jerusalem. And his disciples, James and John, seeing it, said, "Lord, wilt thou that we command fire to come down from heaven and consume them, as also Elijah did?" And he turned and rebuked them, and said, "Ye know not of what spirit ye are." And they went to another village. And as they were going in the way, a certain one said to him, "I will follow thee whithersoever thou goest." And Jesus said to him, "The foxes have holes, and the birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man has not where to lay his head." And he said to another, "Follow me." But he said, "Lord, permit me first to go and bury my father." And he said to him, "Let the dead bury their own dead, but do thou go and announce the kingdom of God." And another also said, "I will follow thee, Lord, but first permit me to bid farewell to those in my house." And Jesus said to him, "No one, having put his hand to the plow and looking back, is fit for the kingdom of God." Chapter 10. After these things the Lord appointed also 70 others, and sent them 2 and 2 before his face, into every city and place whither he himself was about to come. And he said to them, "The harvest indeed is great, but the laborers are few. Pray therefore the Lord of the harvest, that he will send forth laborers into his harvest. Go your ways. Behold, I send you forth as lambs among wolves. Carry neither purse, nor bag, nor sandals, and salute no one by the way. And into whatever house ye enter, first say, Peace be to this house. And if a son of peace be there, your peace shall rest upon it. And if not, it shall return to you. and in that house remain, eating and drinking